Time for the word on Wall Street. Joining me now, Bull Tick Capital Markets Head of Global Research, Kathryn Rooney Vera, Bill Point Asset Management Chief Strategist Dave Nelson, and Matson Money President and CEO Mark Matson. First up, futures are up, slightly mixed this morning, and we turn to the stimulus showdown. President Trump signing executive orders over the weekend providing coronavirus relief as Congress failed to strike an aid deal. The orders provide unemployment expansion of $400 a week, eviction assistance, they defer payroll taxes and student loan payments through the end of the year. Mark, what do you make of this? How does this impact markets?
Well, I think it might calm markets and help people be a little bit more optimistic. But in reality, we need to be looking for long-term solutions, not short-term Band-Aids. And in this case, you have unintended consequences. You have people that are going to maybe not pay their mortgages, not go back to work. I mean, these are incentives matter. So it's critical to get. The only thing that's going to fix this thing long-term, that's going to help the economy, is getting people back to work. I'm not a doctor, but I do know about the economy. You got to get kids back to school. So many parents can't go back to work. And until we really get past this coronavirus and move on, it's a serious disease. But until we move past it, this thing's just not going to go anywhere.
Well, we're going to talk about vaccines coming up. Let's talk about TikTok, vying for TikTok. Twitter entering the race to acquire the video sharing app. Microsoft has been in talks with ByteDance to buy the platform's U.S. operations for several weeks. Twitter eyeing help from investment firms like Silicon Valley giant Sequoia Capital. David, what are you watching in terms of the TikTok on TikTok?
I'm not sure where the valuation is going to come out on this, and if I had to, bet a horse in the race, I would say Microsoft. They've got the pockets for this, $136 billion in cash, a $1.6 trillion market cap. It's not surprising that Twitter, if they want to get involved, they're going to have to partner up with somebody, and Sequoia is a natural fit because Sequoia already has a 10% stake in the parent company ByteDance. But for my money, Twitter has not had a great reputation of monetizing assets, and they certainly don't have a formidable video platform. And Microsoft has been in social media before. They had a $27 billion acquisition of LinkedIn and an early investor in Facebook, so my money's on them.
And then finally, the race for a vaccine. Goldman Sachs releasing a new note to start the week, saying it expects at least one vaccine to be approved by the end of the year, leading to higher gains for 2021. Kathryn, is this already factored into the market? Because literally everyone I talk to, whether it's in like business, in finance, in medicine, this is all the expectation, and it's not just one vaccine, it's possibly two or more.
Yeah, I think a vaccine is priced into the markets, but fundamentally it would give a leg up, a sustainable leg up to the consumption question. Consumption is, of course, the main driver of the U.S. economy. So what I think portfolios need to start incorporating into their strategy is the inflationary impact of eye-watering fiscal stimuli, of which we're still talking, despite the anticipation of a virus, despite the recovery in both unemployment and in consumption and private investment. We're talking about an additional fiscal stimulus package of $1 to $3 trillion. So there's an inflationary component here that I think portfolios need to consider. Just one more point, Dagan, 30%, and this is from the Bureau of Economic Analysis, the share of personal incomes derived from government benefits topped 30% in the month of April. And just to put order of magnitude in terms of fiscal stimuli heretofore, in the month of June, we had $865 billion in deficit. That compares to $1 trillion in the year of 2019. So we're already making Lehman Brothers debacle look like child's play in terms of fiscal and monetary stimuli, yet we're talking of more, despite the anticipation of both a vaccine and a V-shaped recovery. That leads to inflation, and that is something that portfolios are not considering in this moment in time.
Well, where would you allocate your money if you're as an inflation hedge, if you will?
Sure. So I've been, of course, talking about gold for months. It's done spectacularly well. Tips have done very, very well. So there are other guys now considering this inflationary impact, although no one's really talking about it. Portfolios are starting to look at this question, Dagan. But if we do get inflation, the Fed, even though it's expanded its mandate beyond its twofold legally mandated mandate, which is both, of course, 2% inflation and full employment. If we do get inflation over the course of the next 12, 18, 24 months, who can really predict it? The Fed should hike rates. And if you hike rates, then you get that premium between equities and treasuries dissipate, causing a fall in equity markets. My point is, cash is not a bad option. If you have seen a rally of 45% in your equities from March 23rd, realize some profits, build up cash position, start to invest in uncorrelated assets such as private equities, right? And do buy gold, because I think gold, Dagan, can hit 3,000, maybe even more under my scenario.
Kathryn, thank you for that. Kathryn Rooney Vera, great to see you as always. Dave Nelson and Mark Mattson. Thank you one and all.